What if I told you that right now, while you're sitting comfortably and feeling completely fine, your pancreas is quietly losing the very cells responsible for keeping your blood sugar under control? No warning, no alarm, no pain. Just slow, silent destruction happening meal after meal, year after year. There are 80 million Americans walking around today who don't realize their pancreas is already burning out, and most of them won't find out until a doctor hands them a diagnosis they were never prepared to hear. But here's what almost nobody is talking about. There are 6 surprisingly simple habits, most of them rooted in traditional Japanese daily life, that can dramatically slow this process down. One of them takes less than 60 seconds, and none of them require you to change a single food you already love eating. Stay with me until the end because habit number 1, the meal order trick, is so simple it almost seems too good to be true, but the science behind it is absolutely real. Before we go any further, if you're new here, welcome. That subscribe button right now so you never miss a video. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your body, because once you understand it, everything else makes sense. Deep inside your pancreas are tiny clusters of cells called beta cells. These are your insulin factories, the cells that detect rising blood sugar after every meal and release exactly the right amount of insulin to bring it back down. When they work well, your blood sugar stays balanced. When they don't, that's when trouble starts. Let's start with habit number 6 because I want to be completely honest with you about this one. It helps, but it's the least powerful of the group. Green tea. You've probably heard this before, and yes, the evidence is real. The antioxidants in green tea, particularly a compound called EGCG, have been shown in multiple studies to reduce oxidative stress in the pancreas and modestly improve insulin sensitivity. But here's the catch. To get a meaningful benefit from regular green tea, you'd need to drink 3 to 5 cups a day consistently, and even then, the effect is modest. Habit number 6 is a foundation, not a solution. Think of it as protection, not repair. The practical tip? Drink 1 warm cup of unsweetened green tea about 20 to 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day. It won't transform your blood sugar overnight, but as part of this full system, it adds up. Habit number 5 is ginger root, and almost everyone who uses it makes a critical mistake in how they prepare it. Most people slice it, boil it, or toss a couple of dried flakes into their food. And while that's better than nothing, research published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology shows that the most potent form of ginger for blood sugar management is freshly grated raw ginger consumed within about 15 minutes of grating because the active compounds degrade quickly once exposed to air. Just half a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger mixed into warm water with a little lemon taken before a carbohydrate-heavy meal has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and slow gastric emptying, which means your body processes sugar from that meal more slowly and steadily. Dried ginger? Helpful. Powdered ginger in a capsule? Minimal benefit. Fresh, grated, immediate, that's the form that works. Now, this one might surprise you because it has nothing to do with what you eat. Habit number 4 is a specific type of seated movement, and it boosts blood flow to the pancreas by up to 35%. It's called soleus activation, sometimes called soleus push-ups, and it involves a very gentle rhythmic heel raise motion while you're sitting in a chair. You press your toes flat on the floor, raise your heel up slowly, hold for a second, and lower it back down. Repeat continuously for about 10 to 20 minutes, ideally right after a meal. A landmark study from the University of Houston found that this specific muscle movement, targeting the soleus, which is deep in the lower leg, activates a metabolic state that dramatically increases glucose uptake in muscle tissue without raising your heart rate or requiring any exertion. The pancreas benefits because improved circulation means its insulin signals travel more efficiently, and the muscles take up more glucose on their own, reducing the total demand on your beta cells after every single meal. You can do this at the dinner table, in front of the television, or at your desk. It costs nothing, it requires zero fitness level, and the effect begins within minutes. Habit number 3 is a Japanese staple that research shows can reduce post-meal glucose spikes by as much as 36%, and most Western grocery stores now carry it. It's seaweed salad, specifically made with wakame seaweed. Wakame is rich in a unique compound called fucoxanthin, along with soluble fiber called alginate. Together, these slow the absorption of glucose from the small intestine, blunt the insulin spike that follows a meal, and reduce inflammation in the pancreatic tissue itself. A study published in Nutrition Research found that participants who consumed wakame before a carbohydrate-heavy meal saw dramatically lower post-meal blood glucose compared to those who didn't. The simplest way to incorporate this: buy pre-packaged wakame from an Asian grocery or online. Rinse it, dress it lightly with rice vinegar and sesame, and eat it as a small starter before your main meal. 3 to 4 times a week is enough to see measurable effects over 30 days. Habit number 2 is something you may have seen on social media lately, but you need to understand the specific science behind it, because regular green tea and this drink are not the same thing. Matcha. Matcha is powdered whole green tea leaves whisked into hot water, and because you're consuming the entire leaf rather than steeping it, the concentration of EGCG, that powerful antioxidant, is approximately 12 times higher per serving than in brewed green tea. 1 ceremonial-grade matcha in the morning, whisked properly with water heated to about 175 degrees, not boiling, is enough. Boiling water destroys the beneficial compounds. Do it right, and this one simple swap could, over months, meaningfully reduce how hard your beta cells have to work every single day. And now, the one you've been waiting for, the habit that requires 0 dietary changes, 0 new foods, and produces results that genuinely shocked researchers when they first measured it. It's called the meal order method, and the principle is simply this: eat your fiber and protein first, your carbohydrates last. Here's what happens biologically. When you eat vegetables or protein at the start of a meal, they form a physical barrier in your stomach and small intestine. When the carbohydrates, the rice, the bread, the pasta, arrive behind them, they have to pass through that barrier to be absorbed, and that slows glucose absorption by as much as 40 to 73%, depending on the fiber content of what came first. For practical application, at dinner tonight, eat your salad and your protein first. Give it 5 minutes. Then eat your rice, your bread, or your potatoes. That's it. No new foods, no portion changes. Just sequence. If you implement all 6 habits together, here's what you can realistically expect. In week 1, the changes are subtle, your body's adjusting. Week 2, most people notice they feel less sluggish after meals. By week 3, morning fasting blood sugar numbers typically begin to improve. By day 30, if you've followed the system consistently, most people report more stable energy, reduced cravings, and in many cases, confirmed lower blood glucose readings. This is not a miracle. Your pancreas took years to reach where it is today, but these habits, compounded daily, create a genuinely protective environment for your remaining beta cells. Before we close, 5 mistakes that destroy this entire protective effect before it even begins. Skipping breakfast entirely and then eating a massive carbohydrate-heavy meal later causes catastrophic blood sugar spikes that undo days of progress. Eating fruit juice instead of whole fruit strips out the fiber that makes fruit safe for your pancreas. Doing the soleus exercise before a meal instead of after misses the metabolic window entirely. Using boiling water for matcha eliminates the beneficial compounds you're trying to consume. And eating carbohydrates first, even a small amount of bread before your salad arrives, breaks the fiber barrier and negates the meal order method completely. Avoid these 5 and the system works. Include any of them regularly and you're undermining everything. Your pancreas is one of the hardest working organs in your body, and it deserves more care than most of us have given it. These 6 habits are your starting point. Simple, science-backed, and free. If this helped you today, share it with someone you love. And if you want the next video in this series on reversing insulin resistance naturally, it's already waiting for you right here. We'll see you in the next one.